Good? Yes? Yes? Testing, testing. I need to see if you can hear me. Say yes. Okay, yes. Awesome. All right. Well, one more time. Welcome, everybody. This is me, Jessica, and I am so excited. I know that for some of you, I am new in your life, and you're going to invest about 45 minutes of your life. That's an honor for me. So I will make you a promise. This is going to be a time completely worth it for you. All I need is that you stay present, you engage with me as much as you can. I'm going to be asking questions. And you know what? This is like a classroom. You come here with the best intentions so that when you leave this classroom today, you will leave better than when you started. So that's deal number one that I want to make with you. And if you're watching the recording by any chance, just to know that whenever you engage with me, the system sends me an email and I am personally responding your emails. So don't be shy. Don't be thinking that your questions are too basic. None of that. We are here to learn. We are here with the best intention that when we put our intention to join this webinar, we had a reason. And we're looking for answers. And I want to be that person for you today. At the end of this class, I am going to invite you to take a leap of, it's not even faith. I mean, to really judge yourself. And if you feel that you need more help than just, this webinar, I will explain to you the ways that we can work together. Do not worry. My offers are not like thousands and thousands of dollars. Actually, it comes down to like $3 a day. So, take your guard off, because I know how it is when you're into a webinar and you're like, they're going to sell me something. I love to be transparent, okay? I know for a fact that you're here and you have a big dream. If you're here, you also are passionate about what you're doing. If you're here, you are looking for answers because you have no time to make your dream come true and to really make it work. Just say yes on the chat if I describe you. Typically, the people and the entrepreneurs that I help, they have an amazing heart. They work so hard to be where they are today. And for some reason, they are smart, but they don't know how to do the things. And what you don't know, that you don't know, it's typically what is preventing you from going super fast in your life and in your business. So I'm excited. I'm excited to teach you today. And I'm going to be sharing my screen. So bear with me 1 second. I'm going to be sharing my entire screen just to make sure that everything looks okay. So let me close this window and you should be seeing my presentation on the background. So let me just click here and double click here. And all I need is that you tell me if you can see my screen. If you can see my screen, we are in business. Just please say, yes, I can see your screen. You will see me looking on the side. It's because I'm looking also on the panel. So please let me know if you can see my screen and I am going to start the class. Yes, can you see, Sachet? Can you see it? Okay, awesome, awesome. And you know what? This is a good time to remind you, feel free to share that you're here today, that you're learning. That truly helps your brand. Okay, so let's talk business. Today we will learn your blueprint to 10,000 followers and profit. Pay attention, I said your blueprint. This is a customized template that anybody can use no matter in what level they are. So what we will do during the time that we will be together, which is going to be about 45 minutes, I'm going to be covering a little bit of my story in a short version. Then I'm going to be taking you to see some shocking Instagram statistics so you understand why we are so urgent in teaching you this lesson and wanting to open in your eyes about this topic. Then we will design together your blueprint to the 10,000 followers. We will have a session, which is a Q&A. And keep in mind, some people are watching this on the recording. So if you're watching this on the recording version, do not be shy. Just type the questions that you have. Even if you send me 10 emails because every time I said, if you had a question, you had a question, it is okay. And then I'm going to be talking about a bonus that I'm so excited to launch. And this is only applicable to those who are watching the webinar. It's not something that is published in any other place, because it's my only way to honor that you invested the time here today. So who is Jessica Campos? If you see my pages, you will see I run a successful marketing company here in Austin, Texas. I also lead one of the fastest growing networking places to basically connect entrepreneurs and business owners with the professional side. We meet every month. We have events. So I've been doing a lot of influencing marketing here in town. And another thing that you might have seen about me is that I wrote a book. It's The 6 Golden Rules of Social Media. That book, actually, I wrote it 3 years ago. And to this day, it is the masterpiece that I follow. And I not only work with my brands, but I also follow with the clients that we help. We get a lot of work doing workshops, doing keynote speakers and trainings to not only individuals, but also big organizations. One cool thing about me is I actually will have this accent forever. I am from Puerto Rico, in case that you were wondering, like, where is she from? So I'm going to tell you this. You might see my life super shiny, super a high vibe and super happy. I wasn't always this blessed. And this is the reason why when I was naming my company Marketing for Greatness, when I said for greatness mean that I am going to help people who hasn't had their life easy. People who have been struggling to be where they are, but they didn't quit. And to me, greatness is defined as when you achieve something under circumstances where 99% of people will fail. And you're here, you didn't fail, you are in the process of becoming better and becoming great. And that's greatness to me. So some of the pictures that I wanted to share about my story. So this is me here, the first picture here signing this book. This was back in 2001 when I signed up to be a lawyer. Yes, I have a law degree, the Juris Doctor, and I had the license in Puerto Rico, and I practiced for about 7 years. And here's one thing I learned. I learned that I grew up thinking that if I had good grades, if I had my degree, and if I finished everything on time, my life was going to be perfect. I was so wrong. Life actually threw me a curveball, and I became surprisingly single when I was 24. And I had a baby at that time. So I was a single mom for about 5 years. And it took me a long time to really get into my law practice because I was a single mom and it was so difficult. I had to work so many hours, but I made it. I actually started my own law practice, super successful. I was working in real estate. Here's one problem about that story. I was working in real estate when the recession hit this economy. So that means that I lost it all. And that means that loss happened when I had just getting married for the second time. And, it's one of those things that when it was happening, I was so frustrated. I was so anxious. And I want to ask you, those of you who are watching this, how many of you, just by curiosity, how many of you had to reinvent in order to be where you are today? Maybe you started pursuing a career and you're no longer pursuing that career. Tell me if that's you, because that's something that I treasure so much because it's not easy. It is not easy, but it's possible. So what I did, I basically took on a toolbox all of the skills that I had, all the knowledge. My degree gives me a lot of content to play with and to solve situations, but practice is what gives me the context of how I'm going to apply all of that. So in the pursuit of my own life, right? I needed to design my life. I moved out of my country. I started, a new family, and I had 3 babies back to back. So right now we have 4 kids. The youngest is 5, the oldest is 19, and then in the middle we have an 8 and 10 years old. So you do the math. It is a lot of time and effort, but I got to maneuver to do whatever it takes to have my business back and to have my life back. It took me about 3 years to get it there. And for the last 7 years, I have been working in online marketing. I love it. I'm a nerd. And I have learned things like SEO, coding, social media marketing, ads, all of the neat stuff that probably you haven't heard, or maybe you heard, but you don't know how to use it all. So this picture right here on the top, where I'm on stage, this was when we launched our company officially, the training sessions here in Austin. This is back in the 2016. I was super excited. This picture here, this is actually my house, and this is one of the workshops we do. I truly love to work in the VIP days where I help your business to go to the next level, wherever that next level is. And this is one of our networking events at Hotel Grand Duca here in Austin. So that's a little bit about my life. I think it's enough, for you to understand that I think I'm qualified to explain to you the strategies on social media marketing, Instagram marketing, in terms of numbers. And a lot of people ask me, well, how much, have you generated? How many people have you helped? Well, over the last 6 years, we have raised over $20 million in revenue for the companies that we have helped. That means over 100 clients, around 10 countries. We have written 5 books and over 50 courses. So Instagram happens to be our latest course. And what I'm teaching you, it's part of the course, but I'm going to give you an overview of one significant component of the strategy that we teach. So are you ready? Say yes. If you are ready, please say yes, and I am going to start. Again, if you're watching the recording, feel free to send me any questions that you have. So checking Instagram stats, the number of users, this is something that you need to know in case you didn't. Instagram crossed the 1 billion monthly active users. This is a big deal because when Facebook actually crossed the 1 billion users, it was celebrated big time. Now, Facebook purchased Instagram for a reason, right? And it's my opinion that last year, Facebook took a hit after the investigation, all of these things that they needed to go to Congress. So a lot of businesses decided to pursue other avenues. You will notice that Facebook engagement is really low, and you will notice that Instagram is really high. Well, it's because they have really pursued their focus to really put all of the intelligence around the Instagram platform. So they have increased to 1 billion monthly active users, which is a big deal. The second thing is, get this, engagement. If you thought Instagram had a lot of engagement, I'm going to tell you the numbers. Engagement with Instagram is 10 times higher than Facebook, 54 times higher than Pinterest. I know that a lot of people have been told that if they want engagement and traffic to their website, they want Pinterest. I actually think that Instagram is much better. And 84 times higher than Twitter. I don't even know why we mentioned Twitter here. Anyway. So the third shocking stat is that the most used feature of Instagram is actually the stories. You see, where all of these engagements is happening, where all of these clicks are going to happen, so you can see the true growth in your brand because you see the traffic to your website is via Instagram stories. Now, by show of hands, I would love to know from you who are watching this either live or in the recording, do you know what the Instagram story is? Do you know? And you know what? If it's no, it's totally okay. I really would like to know if you know what the concept or even where to access Instagram stories. By show of hands, do you know stories? Elizabeth, please let me know. Sachet, please let me know. Emily, please let me know. I can see other names here, but just please let me know really quickly if I need to explain what a story is. In a nutshell, stories will look like this. Basically, they're vertical pictures. They're not the square pictures. So that's the first thing that will help you to identify. Stories will stick to your Instagram feed. They disappear in the next 24 hours. If you're wondering if this is like Snapchat, yes, you are right. Because Instagram purchased that particular license from Snapchat that makes your camera to be more interactive with you. And because of that, they're using that feature on the Instagram stories. They actually disappear in the next 24 hours. Because of that, you need to be mindful that stories need to be exactly that. You will reveal a story in little drips, in little chunks, so people can follow your story. And the more you stay on the course and in alignment with your message, the easier you will make it for your audience to follow you and to follow your story. I don't know if you engage with people who share their stories, but it's really interesting because some people have it so that they are very consistent. And you will notice that if the content is good, you engage with that story and you look forward. This happens a lot with recipes, with babies, with milestones, with big reveals, with pre-launch. It is great for that. Since Elizabeth says, she doesn't know what a story is, what you should do to see where stories are, go to your Instagram platform, and then please, when you are on your platform, make sure that you hover to the home page, which is like a little home. That's the icon to the bottom left. Then go and take a look to the top right there. You will see a camera icon. That camera icon will be open, and then you will see that you can type. You will see the option that says live. You will see the option that says normal. And I actually have a mini training on how do I navigate through that stories, and I create my own templates. Super, super easy to make, of course, once you learn. But here's one thing why I'm so fascinated with the power of Instagram stories that you are about to discover. So do you know that Instagram, the Instagram feeds, do not allow you to present a clickable link, okay? Instagram has this amazing, I would say, feature, and that has kept the audience very intrigued because they don't open the platform to add other links. What I mean with this is, you know that in Facebook, when you're sharing a picture, you actually can share the content with that picture, and that content can have a link, and people will click, and that's how you usually share with people what you do and your business information, including your website, correct? Now, Instagram does not allow you to share links. The only time when you can share multiple links, it's actually using stories. And the only time when your story can have a link is when you have more than 10,000 followers. I know it's not fair, but that's how it is. For that reason, I hope I presented my case so you understand why you must have 10,000 followers. Listen, when I heard this, I was like, what? I need 10,000 followers? I mean, they have some nerve. I understand if you feel the same way, but it's how the platform wants to play. So let's play. Let's play using their rules. Let's play using their basically the restrictions. We can play. There's no question about it. So once you have the 10,000 followers, you will be able to use stories to get people to sign up in your website, either for your newsletter or something that you want to give away. It helps you tremendously to make people to go to your blog if you're a blogger. If you use content marketing, Instagram stories will be your best player to ignite those visitors to your content. So it's really, really great. Notice that I use different ways to to kind of decorate the story. This one is just a square picture that I uploaded, and then it creates a background automatically. This is the typical writing or type post, and then you're able to insert a picture there. If you would see this live, these are like videos. So this little girl will be like, moving. And this one is actually a template that I did create using our graphic designer. And it's super simple to do as well. Now, how is it that we are going to succeed? Not only having the 10,000 followers is just like what I believe is you will not get the 10,000 followers until a couple of things happen, because I don't want to send you traffic, and when they go to your Instagram page, then you don't know how to use the platform very well yet. Does that make sense? So not everybody is going to get the 10,000 followers by tomorrow, simply because, number one, your accounts will be suspended if we do that. And number two, this has to be a process where you learn exactly what is going to be the strategy that most likely will take you to go from where you are right now to where you want to be. So there are 4 keys and 4 elements to have amazing success with this platform. First one is profile optimization, and I'm going to cover that today. But the second one is content. You need to have an amazing content, and not only amazing, but you need to plan ahead. And that's the best way that you will always be inspired to work on the platform. The third component is you need to have systems to manage your accounts, because using the manual and the app alone as a standalone, it is not going to take you where you want to be. So you really need some tools that typically agencies and professional marketers use. And I'm going to teach you that. How can you really market like a pro without using the budget like a pro? Then we are going to have sales funnels. And I mentioned this as a key ingredient to have amazing success with the platform, because at the end of the day, whenever I just post something, and that piece of content that I post, I put the intention, and that is matching with the avatar that I want to connect with, then I'm going to have success, right? You can just post, and if the content is not really appealing to the people that see your content, you will never have results. For this particular reason, Instagram, and you know what? Every social media platform requires that you have a sales funnel in mind. What does that mean? Maybe this is kind of jargon, and if you're new into the marketing zone, I'm going to break it down for you so you understand what I mean. Have you noticed that people on social media, some of the experts that you follow, they have a podcast, they have a blog, and inside the blog, they typically offer you something for free that you can download. If you have seen that, please say, yes, I have seen that. So typically, that is considered part of a sales funnel, and that has a process in place and a strategy, so that whenever you're offering that piece of advice or that sample if you sell products, or free consultation if you're selling services, that is because you have created a funnel. You have a series of steps, and this is part of the sales department, and this is where sales and marketing get together so that you're marketing to the people who can be ready to buy from you. Okay, I hope that this is making sense. Now, let's talk about the first element to have an amazing success with the platform. Actually, it breaks it down in 4 steps. Step number 1, you need to have an amazing profile picture, an amazing profile description. That means that you have to understand that the very little space that you have on the platform has to be catchy, beautiful, click, and you have to present yourself in the way that, think about the target audience that you have. How do they expect to see you? And that's the type of design that you will pick for your profile. Typically, people relate more to faces and smiles. So even if you are a little shop or a bigger store, you want to have that model that is a face of your brand. People do connect more with faces and with smiles. Just remember that. The second step is we need to teach you how you can find the people that you want to find. It is not about connecting with a lot of people. You actually will find that when it comes to marketing and when it comes to really nurturing relationships and activating word of mouth, you truly want people, but it's not about quantity. It's more about quality. Say yes if you agree with what I say. I mean, I'm sure that you're not here because you want 2 million followers. At the end of the day, you really want maybe 20 high quality clients that will nurture your business. And with those 20 and their referrals, you say, wow, I can definitely see my business blooming if I have 20 clients right now that were super excited, and that will multiply from there. Okay. The third step is designing your content marketing strategy. When I say designing, I mean that you will sit down and you will craft the pieces of content for the next 30 days. There's one component and one reason why I say for the next 30 days, and it's because one of the things that I teach is that you really need to build muscle. You really need to understand that this is a new platform, and the only way that you can get better at something is by doing what? By repetitions, right? So the first assignment that we will do together is content, 30 pieces of content, and you will see that you'll get better. And it's not about 1,000 words per content. It's actually short lines, medium size, and we have templates for all of that. Also, pay attention to the insights, because remember that we want to target a particular segment of that population. If the insights are not matching the target that you want to attract, then we have to pivot and we have to change until we find the sweet spot. Step number 4 is engagement. And probably you have heard this, that the way that you get to 10,000 followers is by engaging with people. You like them, they like you, and all of that. But here's one thing that will significantly change the followers and your account and the quality of people that follow you. You will get together with influencers. When you follow leaders, when you are associated with leaders in your industry, people will respect you. It's almost like instant credibility. Remember something, that when it comes to marketing, beautiful things and shiny things will grab attention. But the only way that you will grab people's money and people's respect and people's advocacy so they turn into your ambassadors is by earning trust. And trust, it's something that you don't take for granted. You have to understand, like, even put yourself in the shoes when you're just looking for things. You probably saw my invitation how many times? You probably have seen me, and that doesn't mean that you will call me the first time you saw me, right? So probably you have been following me for a while, and now you're like, oh wow, let me see what she has to say, right? Let me see if I can learn. So that is called the buyer's journey. And when you understand how exactly your future buyers navigating that journey, you will be able to master this process. So engagements, just keep in mind, engagement needs to consider your buyer's journey. Do you see how many times I mention your, and I mention in particular your business and where you are? The reason is because your first chapter as a business will never be the same as another business first chapter. I say that an individual can either be invested in a network or non-invested in a network. So for some people, they have to market into completely cold market. And yes, for them, the journey will be a little bit, it's not more difficult, but it's definitely need to be more tactical, as opposed to somebody that already has a network and will launch something and will really tell their friends and family, and they're kind of, starting not from the bottom. They're actually starting from the middle. Does that make sense? So never think that the strategies that I'm telling you here, they go into like right or wrong. Everything is really relative about where you are. Now, your foundation will never change. And it doesn't matter where you are. If you truly want to build a new audience, which means that you want to get new 10,000 followers, maybe you got yours already, but the foundation will never change. Okay, so let's take a look at the elements that every brand needs to have. Yes or yes. Okay, so you're going to be able to influence in others if you are clear about your unique, valuable proposition in the marketplace. And for this, the way that we take a look at that is, how do you present yourself? How do people perceive you? Consider that some people will like to see the numbers and some people will like to see more like the true change and the emotional component of that. Do you consider that when you're explaining what you do? Are you understanding that Instagram will allow you to feature some of your solutions, but you don't have to feature all of them? So make sure that you understand that when you're using social media, it is not like using advertising. It is not like putting a brochure out there or a flyer out there and just sounds like a radio commercial. This is social. This is conversational. And conversational means that you understand how those future buyers think. One thing that will help you, and this is part of the foundation of your strategy, is what is the pain that triggers your audience to come to you? What is it that they try to search when they want to find you and your solutions? And of course, part of the foundation is thinking that social media is going to be managed using campaigns. So maybe now you're going to be working in a new project, and that's basically a pre-launch campaign. Understand that, and your life is going to be very much easier when you plan ahead using campaigns and thinking about your avatars and your hooks. I actually want to send you a link here of one of my blog posts where I explain the concept of the grid, the avatars and hooks that really helps me to design the target audience. So that's actually a link that I just shared on the chat. Make sure that you grab that, read that, and any questions that you have about it, please, write me. I don't bite. Okay, 10,000 followers. Okay, here's the dilemma. Instagram will cancel your account if you go out there and you buy from any app or from any bot that will put followers out there, okay? And it is not because I don't believe that you should not do things like that. Honestly, it has ever existed. Same thing happens with search engine optimization. A lot of people rank #1 in Google, #1 in Amazon, using secrets, using hacks. So yes, Instagram has hacks. I have them for you. And like I said before, those hacks, I won't even open those for you until you're ready to receive 10,000 followers and ready to receive 10,000 targeted followers, which is even better. Now, when you have those, you will be also doing other things to get new people coming to you. And that's the way that you build a true audience, okay? So 3 things that are very much in trend these days is using geotagging. That means that when you share a post, make sure that you tag a location. And that also helps people who are searching for that location finding your business. Amazing strategy using geotagging and geofencing. The second one is co-marketing. I have done these many times with individuals that serve the same audience that I serve, but not using the same products, right? So let's say that you are a business coach and I do marketing and social media coaching. Well, we serve the same audience. So doing co-marketing, meaning I share your things, you share my things. There's also the component, I'm gonna write it here, take over. I also have a blog post about that. So there's also doing, takeovers that will help you tremendously to reach more people with your content. And advertising, giveaway, Instagram ads, promotions, partnering with influencers will help you to truly build the audience that you want. And when you're ready, you push that button and I get you the 10,000 followers, but they will be targeted and they will be with a very clear intention. Now, let's design your roadmap. And this is going to be super, super, super interesting. From everything that I said, I want you to be honest. And you know what? If you found many things that you haven't even thought about it, it is okay. I'm not here to start a war with anybody. So the first part is what is truly working? What is right? So write this down on your notebook or on your journal. What is working really good from everything that I said? So you know what? If it helps, let me go to these key ingredients to have amazing success with the platform. Do you feel like you got really good when it comes to profile optimization? Are you using good pictures? Are you having fun? Is it creative? Do you have the muscle to share pictures frequently? Or you have the apps to even create beautiful pictures? If you're there, but you're not so consistent, maybe this is an area that you need to improve, okay? When it comes to content, how are you creating content? Consistency, is that an issue? Are you clear about the avatars and the hooks that you will share to that audience? You just grade yourself with these 4 areas, and that's going to give you basically an estimate of the things that you need to do to improve your strategy. Maybe it's content, maybe it's being more clear with the target audience. Maybe you need to find ways to advertise, ways to find influencers. What is it that you need to do to improve, okay? And the third element of that blueprint is you know what needs to change. Now I want to know, what do you need to do to change that? And you will find an interesting answer here. Most of them will tell you, I just need to learn how to do it. Or if I know how to do it, I'll be able to know how much time it will take me. So maybe I need to hire somebody, right? So write down for everything that needs to be improved, what exactly is that you need to do to improve that today. That's your roadmap. You know what? It will be super, super fun if you take a picture of this and the notes that you're taking and you share with me. What did you find out? What is right? What needs to be improved? And what do you need to do to improve it? Do you need to learn? Do you have the time to learn? Any questions? I feel like I have been just sharing a lot of information here. Any questions? Now is going to be the time for you to just type there on the chat. And if you're watching the replay, what questions do you have for me? And if it's okay, I'm going to introduce you to the bonus that I have for you, because you're so important to me and because you're taking the time and you're investing in yourself and in your business. I want to honor that. So here's my invitation. What I have is a program where I am your mentor. I will guide you along the way, wherever you are, to take you where you want to be. The best way that we can work together is, I don't believe in just sending you tutorials and then you never talk to me. It is actually the opposite. You talk to me 2 times a month. We have roundtable calls, and then those calls are with no more than 10 people. You'll find that the more you share about your business, the more other people share about their business, and you generate the best ideas during those mastermind circles. And they happen 2 times a month. What days? They usually happen either Tuesday or Thursday from 9 to 10 a.m. If we have people requesting maybe an evening session, we will be open an evening session if that's required. But typically with 2 times a month, every either Tuesday or Thursday, you pick whenever you can make it. And typically that's enough for you to stay on track, stay accountable, and understand how is it that you will implement the changes. Now, here's the thing. Instagram is not going to be the only way where you will market. So my social media university actually has an app, and we have many courses, including LinkedIn, courses on Pinterest, SEO, Facebook, from the basic to the more advanced. And keep in mind something else. When you're launching your business, and I take that, I would say 50-50, you are in the first 3 years of your business, you probably are just concluding that you always need to be up to date when it comes to social media marketing. Yes, I actually have to put more hours than I had to put before to keep up with my bar exam as an attorney. This is a very fast-paced environment, and it's good when you don't have to chase all of the new changes. I do that for you. Guaranteed results. Our membership goes for 12 months. And before, we used to have like you pay monthly and all of that. I actually don't like when people treat their business like their membership to the gym. It is actually the opposite. Our success is guaranteed because we are being clear since day number one. In order to grow your business, not only you need strategies, you actually need to do things, and you need the guidance, and you need to see your numbers and your key performance indicators to establish in a full year the plan and the execution. Rome was not invented in 7 days. So that's why we put our courses for the full year. Other perks: when you join Inner Circle, you will have access to our secret Facebook group. We have a chat as well, and very accessible so far. And we have live events, and one of the live events is actually a retreat to Puerto Rico. It's going to be fantastic. That's happening in the fall. We give you scripts, tools, just like the tool that I have, like the hooks and the avatars. We have different scripts for many, many, many things, including the graphics, which is one of the things that people crave the most. So how exactly can you join? Let me actually share with you the link so you can see where to have more information. So for that, I need to share my screen here. Okay, here we go. So I can explain to you from my computer. So you will be seeing when you click that link in the offer that is under this webinar, you then will get to open a page that says Inner Circle. Like I said before, this is a program for entrepreneurs in the first 3 years that are passionate about their business. You have been trying to market yourself. You maybe are not ready yet to delegate full service your strategy, or even delegate, to somebody to do the full social media for you, which is a great fit. You know what? Some of you will prefer that. So we talk about that. My Inner Circle program has both components. You can have the learning component, the strategy, which is how you and I talk every other week to make sure that you are implementing, and we strategize to keep growing your business. And depending on the track, you can have me and our team working for you with the implementation. So first track, it's going to be growth track that has the component of you learning, of you coming to our mastermind calls and receive the strategy. The way it works, it's a one-time investment, $997, or if that's an investment that is a little bit hard for you today, you can break that down in 6 installments of $197. So with $197, you can get started. You have access to the full library that gets open to you. It's not via email that I send you things, little by little. I give you everything. For example, the full course of Instagram is available to you right now. The second track is Accelerator. Some of you will feel more comfortable if they speak to me and they have the strategy portion done in a one-on-one setting. So that is actually the Accelerator track. It comes with 2 strategy sessions one-on-one that you can use at the beginning, and maybe after 3 months, you have the chance to just pick when you're ready to come for that strategy session. So it's 2 strategy sessions on top of everything that the growth track has. Mastery, the word says it, you are not up to learn that much. You really want to accelerate even further. And that's when we take care of one of your social media platforms and we do it for you. You don't have to stay in that track for 12 months. Maybe you want to start here today, and maybe you want us to do your social media, and then you learn, and then you pick it up. That's also a very good plan. Now, this is what it's out there, published to everybody that, visit the page right now. Now, because you came to this webinar and because you're watching the replay as well, this is my bonus to you. Each of these tracks will have an additional 90-minute private session with me if you take action today. Meaning that growth track I mentioned here, it doesn't really come with a private strategy session. I'm going to give that to you. So you have that to start, and you can clear all your questions with that strategy session, get done your content, get all of that clear, and you're good to go. If you pick the accelerator track and it has 2 private sessions, now you will have 3. Same thing with the mastery track. You will have 1 additional service that we will give to you via that strategy session. So in that strategy session, I can actually work with you in anything that you need when it comes to the marketing. Maybe you need to fix your branding. Maybe you need to fix, your email system, whatever it is open topic. It's like you hire my brain for those 90 minutes. It's fantastic. You can see videos of people who have done it with me, and they're, super, super grateful. And I am grateful for them too. So that is actually what I have as a bonus to you, honoring that you came here, honoring that you spent and you invested the most appreciated asset, which is your time. Now I am going to stop sharing my screen, and now I'm coming here to the chat. And keep in mind, if you guys are there watching the replay, just type on the chat as well any questions that you have so I can help you. So my difficulty is that I post and I gain multiple followers, and then they fall off shortly days later. Okay, so typically a diagnosis that I will tell you, Christina, is hashtags. If you are using hashtags that are very populated by robots or by automation, typically that's what happens, because it's not like real people are following you. Mostly those are apps that typically follow you and follow your likes, and then they just go away. So my question to you, do you use a particular system to keep analyzing and tracking your hashtags? Because that will definitely help you not having that problem. Let me see, somebody raised a hand here. Let me see. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I think that was you, Christina. That was your question. So anybody else that have any question before we go? Awesome. Okay, so you do not track your hashtags. Okay, so that's definitely something that, you will start there. You actually have access to our courses. So that's actually course number 3, lesson number 3, where I'm teaching all about hashtags and the apps I use to monitor them. And that's going to be super helpful for you, girl. Awesome. Anybody else has any question? This is now the time. I hope that you found this time worth it. Like I said at the beginning, my promise is that after this class, you were going to leave with value and change in the way that you look at the platform. So I am craving for your feedback. Was this class worth it? And tell me one thing that you learned that you love the most. Tell me one thing that you love the most. I would have so appreciated if you just told me that. One thing that you love the most. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. One thing that you love the most. With that, you make me so happy. I should stop the recording and call. Yes, I'm gonna end this. Hold on. Yes, and the event. Yes.